So today we are working on Sylvia, the Silverado. We're going to do a couple of things. I put a new Pitman arm seal on the steering box because it was leaking like crazy. Like every day it would leak out all of its contents. So we fixed that. And the intake system, the elbow that the air filter bolts to or clamps to, is trashed. And luckily I have a spare. And we got some new wheels from a newer truck and they look so much better. And we're going to do that first, so let's jump right into it. I put all of my weight on the bar here, and I can't get these lugs off. It's like they're welded on there. But my brother graciously sent me this, and I'm expecting it's going to make quick work of this. Oh, yeah. Ugh. So now I'm leaving two of the lug nuts off because I ordered a bunch of the ones that have screws for these things to screw onto. And so once I get those next week sometime, I'll replace them two at a time. But for now, this will just kind of sit here because I'm not going to really drive it. That looks 100 times better than it did. Oh my god, I hate the salad shooter wheels. This has seen better days too. You see it's really bent up. And conveniently, something, I think my brother left this behind. I have a brand new one. Well, not a brand new one, but a different one. So I'm going to clean this up and swap it with that one. So I've already loosened the clamp there. I'll get this clip off of here for the whatever sensor that is. I guess it's inlet temperature. Alright, perfect. I get the new one in there. I need two hands for this. There we go. Got a little clip thingy. And then our filter can just kind of slip right on. I don't know how important the box is, but it'll kind of hold it in place at least. And then we got to find a hose clamp to fit that. So as you see, this steering box is kind of blocked by the cross member here. So I cannot get a Pitman arm puller in here. So we got to drop the box. So yes, up under here in the frame rail, we got 1, 2, and 3. And so I want those to be the last thing that I take off because I need to get that Pitman arm off of the center link. And I also need to get the steering column off, or the steering shaft off of the box. So remember, these will be the last 3 things you do. So that was much harder than I thought it was going to be. You do have to take the tire off, and then you can get your long pickle fork and come up in here. I don't know if you can see anything. And then you can pop the Pitman arm off of the center link. So now with that done, I've got my lines disconnected. This is a steering box to something else. So now on a regular steering box, like in the old cars, you have your column, like your steering shaft that bolts to here. And you could just take that off and all that. Cannot do that on these. You have to undo this bolt here and then pry the steering shaft up. The steering shaft is kind of collapsible, and so that shouldn't be an issue. But just note, these are riveted together to your steering column or steering shaft, and you have to take this bolt out and get it off. These are going to be 13/16. All I have right now is a spark plug socket, so that's going to have to do. So let's get popping. Unfortunately, this one's a pain. You got to use a wrench to get to it. If I wasn't going to maybe sell this truck, I would just cut the inner fender here so I could get a socket. But I'm sure some lowballer will see that and have a problem with it, so we're just going to use a damn wrench. Okay, well that was a pain. Now if you have trouble getting it out of there, if this thing's hitting the frame rail, this is your Pitman arm, you can reach down and turn it as you see fit. This is about where I had mine to come out. Just remember, it's going to cause you more trouble when you put it back together, but that's worth it to me. So now we got to take the Pitman arm off. Got my puller. I got the nut off of here, which was challenging in itself, but if you have trouble getting your Pitman puller here, there is a plastic sleeve here that should not be down there. It should be up here. So just kind of push it on up there, and then you can get your Pitman arm puller on there, no big deal. If you don't know what cheater wrenching is, okay. So normally there would be a snap ring in here, but whoever did this before didn't put the snap ring in it. That's probably why it's leaking. All I did was take a 3.5-inch housing screw. I only needed one for some reason. This seal's really loose, and I just came right out. So, easy. Oh, there's our snap ring. So I wonder if they couldn't get this in there, and they put the snap ring there instead. Ooh, that's a problem. Now to get this washer out of here, what I did was I slid 2 rare earth magnets down the shaft here. Then I took a little screwdriver, stuck it like that, and then I was able to gently slide it up. Now all I did to get the last seal out, as well as a little plastic washer, which, you know, is there, barely screwed these 2 into that seal, and then I grabbed my pliers and just one side at a time started working it up. We don't want to go too far in there because there actually is a bearing in there, so be careful. Just barely screw into it. Like you can see, I didn't even mess up the little spring in there. That's all you really need. So for the record, the proper order for this should have been that rubber thing, this metal washer, that seal, then a plastic washer, and then the last seal. But whoever was in here before is an idiot, and they didn't do it right. So first seal goes in, it has the plastic washer bonded to it. There's an open, there's like where you see the spring here, that faces down. Okay, GoPro died, but we got the seals in there. So now that all the seals are in there, just put our snap ring on there. We're gonna see if I can actually get this down in there. Now, a little better. Okay, well, we spent some time cleaning it up with a screwdriver, a scraper, and a wire brush, and it's looking pretty good. So I think I'm just going to give it some degreaser and wash it down. I have plugs in the ports here, and then it'll be nice and squeaky clean. Maybe I'll paint it, maybe I won't, but I think it would be beneficial to clean up under here before we put this thing back in. So now we just got to put our Pitman arm back on it and put it in the truck. Again, we have to do that before we put it in the truck because we couldn't get the thing off while it was in the truck. And I was going to paint this thing up, but I think I'm just going to leave it because I want to get this truck going. Alright, well, we got our steering box back in. It's hooked up. I just reused the old hoses, and I think I already regret it because it's already leaking, but whatever. So let's start it up and fill this thing up and get it all bled and all that stuff. So I've actually already filled the reservoir of the steering pump up, and I've done this a couple times, but we're going to start it up. And what you're going to do is you're going to go left all the way and right all the way. So left all the way, right all the way. And you just keep doing that until it cycles all the fluid through. Now I've had to do this 2 or 3 times because it was very, very empty. I dumped most of the fluid out when I was changing up things. And so I needed to go through like a whole quart of steering fluid, which involved fill it up, left, right, left, right, left, right, turn the car off, or the truck off, fill it back up, left, right, left, right, left, right, turn it off, and then fill it back up, left, right, and it's finally behaving. It still leaks, but I think it's because I reused my old hoses, which I have a new one in the box here, so it shouldn't be an issue. We'll just replace them and be good to go. Okay, well, that's about it. So I didn't do much today, but we're gonna hopefully keep working on this thing. I think we may end up selling this truck, so sad day, but must be done. Gotta move on to bigger and better things. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, you be good while I'm gone, and I will see you next time. Have a good week.